thirst and exhaustion under what can be a very unforgiving sun in that part of the world. Imagine climbing cliffs or walking for hours through Breaking Bad type desert in temperatures that reach 118 degrees Fahrenheit. As we'll show you later in the show, some of the deaths are far from what you call natural. Many of the players in the game of illegal immigration put no value on human life outside of what they're paid for transporting. 65 Border Patrol stations are spaced from the west to the east of the U.S., from San Clemente in California's Orange County, all the way to Brownsville in Texas. The U.S. shares about 1,954 miles of border with Mexico, which you can imagine takes a lot of protecting. With close to 60,000 full-time employees, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP, is said to be one of the largest law enforcement organizations in the entire world. Right now, it's one of the most overstretched. While researching the show, we saw videos of agents shaking their heads at what's happening before their eyes. "We've been overrun," said one sheriff when Elon Musk was down at the border talking to him. A sheriff told the popular vlogger Peter Santinello in a video watched 6.7 million times that right now the situation is impossible for U.S. law enforcement, what he called a monstrosity at the border. Today we'll outline what he means by that, but first, let's talk about expenses. CBP's budget for 2022 was $14.643 billion, with another $1.018 billion added that the White House said was to address increased encounters at the southwest border. $6.159 billion was allocated for operations, hiring, and southwest border surge requirements, a 26% increase from the year before. $16.464 billion had been provided in funding for the CBP in 2023, as well as another $1.563 billion for various issues on the southwest border. The proposed budget for 2024 is $19.934 billion, and another $2.104 billion will be spent on additional border fencing. The 2024 budget proposal is $25 billion for both the CBP and Immigration and Customs Enforcement. That's $800 million more than in 2023. These numbers show the urgency of the issue. On the very day we started making the show, the state of Texas approved $1.5 billion for building more barriers on the border with Mexico, with the state saying the federal budget wasn't enough to deal with what it said.
I was lost, I was lonely, I felt like nobody cared. I was just drinking the whole issues away and doing drugs.
I'm like, okay, something's gonna change.
When I walked out of that treatment facility, I felt like I had a new outlook on life, a new freedom, and a new happiness.
It is possible. I didn't think it was. But I had a little bit of hope and I ran with it. And that's all anybody needs.
Significant stretch, but there is record-breaking activity at the southern border. There was a record 2.4 million apprehensions, aka encounters of immigrants in the 2023 fiscal year, ending in September. It's important to note that these aren't successful border crossings, though. Counting all borders, including Canada, Homeland Security has said the number is 3.2 million for 2023. The number for the South is 2.3 million for the 2022 fiscal year, well over the 1.7 million apprehensions for 2021. We'll see later just how insanely big these numbers are compared to the past. In 2023, 1.23 million people were handed notices to appear, or NTAs. NTAs are when a person claims asylum. These people get the chance to be heard in a court of law, and the judge will decide what happens to them. There are some people claiming asylum and people trying to avoid contact with U.S. law enforcement. Some of the latter succeeded but are still on the radar. These people, in the language of law enforcement, are known as the gotaways. You can't count the unknown gotaways because no one ever saw them. Some of these people might be hardworking individuals with wonderful ethics, but they also fall part of the 169 people on the FBI terror watch list, so it's possible that some bad people are getting through. We'll also discuss this matter later in the show. In October, the Department of Homeland Security said there had been something like 1,000 gotaways every day in the new fiscal year starting October 2023. This was nothing special. It was confirmed that in 2022, for the entire fiscal year, there were 599,000 gotaways. That was almost a record, but not quite. The year 2000 was a bad year too, when 614,000 people got away. We don't have a number for total gotaways in 2023, as the number had been released before we prepared to make the video. But in May, the CBP reported that since the end of the fiscal year 2022, September 30th, there had been 530,000 gotaways. The numbers released for 2023, there's little doubt will have smashed 500. 769,174 gotaways for 2023. However, the former CBP chief Mark Morgan has said it could be over 1/3. That's more than the population of Austin, Texas in just 1 year. People are not the only things picked up by the CBP. The fiscal year of 2020, 901 pounds of fentanyl that was being sent across the southwest border, an amount that Homeland Security said was enough to kill around 6 billion people. CBP also arrested encounters with the company crime, and in 2022, there were 2,535. Another classification is family unit.
Come on. It's not over yet.
994 FAQAs, but in 2023, there were 821,537 FAQAs. This is a very sad category of
I didn't fall asleep. Hang on.
In 2020, CBP encountered 33,239 UCs, and in 2023, over the startling 137,275 UCs. The last category is the big one, the single adults, SAs. There were 353,168 encounters with SAs.
Hang in there, Helena.
123, that number is 1,540,000. Changed. Secretary of State Anthony J.
I want to slow you down. Just go.
No one denies that the U.S. has a border problem spinning out of control. All the numbers totally
You're not getting off that easy. Come on.
Said that in the past, you might get a migrant crisis related to one country, such as Guatemala or maybe Honduras. But now he says people are heading to the U.S. in large numbers from many different nations. The migrant crisis today is multi-country rather than mostly single-country. In 2021, the Department of Homeland Security said the top 6 countries of origin for undocumented migrants were Mexico, El Salvador, Guatemala, India, Honduras, and China. During and after the pandemic, when the world's economies were shaken up, more people have been on the move. Over the last year, there's been a spat of Venezuelans illegally crossing into the U.S., which is not a surprise, given that close to 8 million Venezuelans have left their country since its major economic recession began in 2014. With pervasive poverty, corruption, mega crime rates, and what's been called a health humanitarian crisis, it's easy to see why so many are opting for the long journey to the U.S. The Migration Policy Institute explained in 2023, some of it is political persecution, but most of it is just basic nutrition and health care and public services that collapse. In September 2023,
After all we've been through, it'd be a waste to give up now.
4,833 times. Compared to 22,090 arrests in August, that put Venezuelans above Mexicans. It's not something that's been seen before. You might be surprised that the CBP recorded 1,779 encounters with Russian nationals during the same month, down from 2,099 Russians in August. As for Chinese nationals, for September there were 399 encounters.
Let's try this way.
Depending on how long they overstayed, can be banned for as little as 3 years or as much as 10 years. Some of these people are arrested by ICE and deported. In 2022, there were
We're almost through this.
7,433 such deportations. In 2021, it was 59,000. The lowest
Something crazy is about to happen.
In 2020, there were 185,000. In 2017, there were 287,093 deportations, but that increased to 328,716.
You hear these stats?
9,885 for 2018 and 2019, respectively. 2012 and 2014 were big deportation years, easily going over 400,000 for each of those years. Former President Obama, with 2.8 million deportations during his presidency, was sometimes called the deporter-in-chief. But President Bush, with 2 million before him, was also big on deportation. These two were easily
Let's take a break.
in this category, although we should say that there was a change regarding what constitutes a deportation under Obama that might have affected the statistics. As for getting a job when you don't have papers, while the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986
There's gotta be a first aid kit in here somewhere.
to hire undocumented workers or keep them employed knowingly, they still do it. These workers still have labor rights, but they also are sometimes exploited. The Texas Tribune recently wrote that an underground labor market pays low wages and occasionally embraces exploitation. The newspaper interviewed immigrants getting $90 for a grueling 14-hour workday, less than minimum wage. Some immigrants take advantage of what the Tribune called the loopholes, backdoors, and private arrangements that allow them to work. Some have fake documents. Some just work as contractors, so they're invisible to the state. In 2005, the biggest employer in the U.S., Walmart, was fined $11 million for hiring hundreds of immigrants to work as cleaning contractors, meat processing and packing companies, jobs that might entail
Makes me
removing
sick
guts
seeing
from
good
animals or
soldiers
working
die like
a
this.
robot on a conveyor line have been known to hire a lot of illegals. Countless studies show that immigrants are more likely to work in riskier jobs in the U.S. A paper on this topic published by the National Institutes of Health said 21 of 29 fatal construction accidents.
Looks like a marijuana plant.
Are you there?
Involved workers who were
Hunnigan.
Good to hear you're okay. Where's Helena?
She's not doing too good. She needs medical attention.
Do you have any herbs left?
A few, but I'm not sure they'll help.
Herbs? You mean a marijuana
Just
plant?
follow my instructions.
border are likely to come from poverty in their home country. About 32% of adults in the U.S. who were born outside of the U.S. don't even have a high school diploma, compared to 11% of natural-born Americans. According to studies, 35% of
Hold on,
immigrants
Helena.
know English or just a bit of English. A big problem in the view of dangerous jobs is the lack of any health insurance. Undocumented immigrants in most states cannot, by law, enroll in federally funded coverage such as Medicaid, CHIP, or Medicare. Only 5 states offer insurance regardless of immigration status. Those are California, Illinois, Oregon, Colorado, and New York. But in some of those states, it is only for certain people, such as low-income individuals ages 65 and older. Health policy research says 50% of undocumented immigrants have no insurance
Too many
whatsoever.
good agents have died here today.
18% of documented immigrants.
You're not getting added to
Only
that list.
6% of naturalized citizens are without insurance, and 5% of native-born Americans don't have it. This can make being undocumented a tightrope existence, since many people won't visit a doctor or a hospital as they're afraid they'll be discovered and deported. This is particularly tough if you have a family or support a family back home, so people have been willing to take big risks with their health. Things have certainly changed over the years. If you go back to 1960, about 75% of all immigrants in the U.S. were just as
I get my left nut for a mouth to eat my right nut.
These days, there are around 45 million immigrants in the U.S., making up 14% of the entire population.
Can't let your guard down for a
It's also
second.
interesting that immigrants tend to have more children. According to Pew Research, this may have benefits since the U.S. is facing an aging crisis. There are around 54 million people now over the age of 65, but it's estimated to be 4 million by 2030. Experts on the matter have said that immigrants may well help reverse the aging crisis. The IMF wrote in 2020, immigration can solve the demographic dilemma, but not without the right policies. This is an expansive and controversial topic we'll save for another show. The U.S. is certainly a
We're heading to
favorite
the
spot
quad
for
tower.
immigrants. Germany, the immigrant hotspot in Europe, has about 15.
There are BSA agents there with
Saudi
survivors.
Arabia has
I can't abandon
13.5
them.
million immigrants. Russia 11.6 million, and the UK 9.4 million. We should add that different sources
Thanks,
give us different numbers regarding the number of U.S. immigrants. The numbers for
I've sent over the field guide to your PDA. You can always refer to that in a
now
pinch.
be much higher given all the known and unknown gotaways. Whatever the case, it's a big number. But Australia, at 6.7 million immigrants, has a population that's made up of 28% immigrants. And Saudi Arabia's population comprises 34% immigrants. The United Arab Emirates is made up of 87% immigrants. With the latter, we see a country formerly described as a barren desert that has developed extremely fast. The truth is, there are always great big chunks of populations from poorer countries looking for a better life elsewhere. Gallup conducted a huge poll. It was discovered that
What the hell?
50 million people worldwide, 15% of the world's population, wanted to live in another country. The U.S., according to that poll, was the most desired location. Only 5 respondents ticked the box for the U.S. when asked where they wanted to go. It's quite amusing that 1 in 6 Americans, or 16%, said they wanted to get out of the U.S. Gallup said this was the highest measure to date where Americans wanted to leave the country where millions of people are dying, sometimes literally to get in.
Can we make it to the tower this way?
Yes, just keep moving in that direction.
Keep themselves or avoid persecution. The next top spot for people said they wanted to go. 6% of the 750 million. Germany, 6%. 5%. Australia, 5%. UK, 4%. Gallup added that most of those who wanted to live so much news about the U.S. is these days.
Coming out of the woodwork.
This is evident when you look at how, say, poverty is relative. You know the optics. The dollar is also a strong currency.
Over here! Get in!
But the U.S., for many immigrants, story of immigrants. Very good at climbing down the black. 2017. reports, the UN said in 2018 for 200 billion migrant workers.
What the hell? I'm not even doing. I'm doing exactly what it's telling me to do.
And its resources for ourselves. Scientists talk about which they believe are associated with their identity.
Man, that's bullshit.
Which could be a reason for the low crime. Was highly exaggerated. It seems now, as things stand in Sweden,
Got it. like this game. It's kind of like a movie game.
In it, what happens is brothers will just suddenly nuts. Taking out a look at their house and pay the smugglers. But if you're coming from Africa, Europe, or Asia, you're looking at more than 20,000, maybe as much as 50,000. According to the source that mentioned Chinese immigrants, the cheapest price we saw in news media was $2,000 right away. Consider that a very legal Greyhound ticket from Tijuana to San Diego can cost as little as $12.99. Prices differ for smuggling operations just as they do when you take economy or business class on a plane. Smugglers in Mexico often give their clients color-coded wristbands that designate which service they'll receive and where they're being sent. Despite the violence they sometimes inflict, the cartels often run their operations like a professional business. The UN says you can buy a package deal, an expensive all-in-one that could take you all the way from somewhere like Honduras to Texas. But there's also a pay-as-you-go, which means paying in increments throughout various parts of the journey. The UN says these migrants are more likely to become stranded and be exposed to abuse. The comprehensive package deal is usually faster, more comfortable, and has a much higher success rate. No one would buy them if they continually failed or were overly dangerous. Thousands of immigrants get through this way, paying criminals in Mexico, who in turn often thrive below paid Mexican police.
Roger.
On the U.S. side, there are also criminals in the smuggling business. The cartels work both sides of the border. As one smuggler said, they often create a diversion so U.S. Border Patrol agents flock to a certain spot. There's nothing fancy, he says, that happens next. Once the agents are out of the way, the people are smuggled by climbing over ropes or ladders provided through holes in the fence. The smuggler explained, if the agent or the camera didn't see them, the migrant can walk away as if nothing happened. They can walk right by a Border Patrol agent, and if they keep their cool, they're gone. The job of a U.S. Border Patrol agent can sometimes be compared to Sisyphus in Greek mythology, pushing that giant ball of rock up a hill for all eternity. And people just keep coming day after day, and there aren't enough agents to stop it. There's also no shortage of people wanting to help with the smuggling process. The smuggler we just mentioned was not a crime boss. He was just a kid who was poor as hell and has taken advantage of a thriving market. There will also be plenty of people exploiting the market. It's well known to the people working in the smuggling racket that if they take people out of the Mexican desert, there are often gangs out there waiting armed who
Back for
kidnap
more.
or beat people. Some of these gangs are told to pass them, costing in the region of $300 a person. There were 492 reported attacks and kidnappings according to a human rights organization. Charges $500 per person, skipping all the way to LA. This is a lot, but he said he faces a long prison time if he gets caught. He takes home about $2,500 per person due to his paying $200 for every migrant to Mexican cops, and a massive $2,800 to $3,000 to the person doing the risky driving to LA. He might also pay decoys, lookouts, and folks who have safe houses about $200, so his earnings quickly diminish. Still, he says he gets his new clients every couple of days. With the massive uptick in the getting into the U.S. business, the smugglers on the U.S. side are serious about collecting too. The FBI raided a safe house recently and found a migrant in a state of distress. His captors, whom he had not paid, had smashed his hands with a hammer. The U.S. authorities reported that hundreds of migrants had been held in this house of horrors. Some men had been mutilated, while some women had been the victims of serious sexual misconduct. The New York Times described the scene that awaited the cops. Another migrant, stripped down to his underwear, was squirming in pain, his bludgeoned hand held aloft in the front bedroom. In the rear bedroom, agents encountered a nude woman, another migrant who had just been assaulted by a smuggler who emerged naked from the bathroom. This was the work of the Los Zetas cartel, an organization that might seem inviting to Mexicans living in poverty. As a former Mexican drug cop and organized crime investigator, Ed Calderon had said in a shocking podcast interview, the cartels pick up new recruits all the time. They actively seek them out, just normal guys who don't have work. The money is much better and sometimes less risky than becoming a cop. So poverty creates smugglers as much as it creates the smuggler. This is why U.S. Border Patrol has a Sisyphean job on their hands. Something they can usually do well, but not right now, when they're so overwhelmed. They put one smuggler in prison authorities raided stash houses and found migrants and men on pretty much a daily basis last year. Sometimes there were high-speed chases and shootouts. It never stops. The wave of immigration is like a perpetually recurring tsunami of human desperation. This wave is no more evident than at the U.S.'s illegal immigration hotspots. This year, that's the El Paso sector in Texas. Nowhere along the border is the CBP busier this year. Before we get into this, you need more information on what's going wrong this year. Remember, we told you there were 2.4 million encounters in 2023. It's 2.3 million in 2022. These were record-breaking numbers. In 2021, you'll remember we told you the number was 1.7 million. The last peak before the current peak was in 2000, when encounters hit 1.6 million. They hit that number in the late 80s too, having climbed steadily from the 1960s onwards, then after 2000 climbing back down again. In 2017, the numbers hit a 17-year low at about 304,000 encounters, but the numbers had been under 500,000 since 2010. Encounters numbered 859,501 in 2019, then came down to 405,000 in 2020, and as you know, they went through the roof after that. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the CBP began arresting people under something called Title 42, which was invoked to expel immigrants easily. During the pandemic, the U.S. took a hardline stance to stop the spread of the virus. In 2020, around 90% of apprehended immigrants were immediately deported, compared to about 50% in 2021 and just 32% in 2022. Under Title 42, immigrants cannot claim asylum. It gave the government the power to deport people immediately, since the law, based on a public health law made in 1944, states anyone may be contagious and pose a serious danger to U.S. citizens can be kicked back without any legal barriers. They can also try again without any criminal consequences. It seems many have. But under Title 8, the usual law for immigration, if they're processed and
Bioorganic
deported,
weapons
they are
are
vulnerable
global
to
threat. Start working with the rest of the world. We have to come to a lot to but it might create more problems. It's time we take responsibility. We want to have any
El Salvador and Guatemala,
Stay where
these
you
people
are.
had been poised for the law to change. They thought they would help them get in easier. This has caused a problem since
Mr.
so many
President!
nationalities are now involved. With numbers so high, the Biden administration recently enacted something called expedited removal. This makes it easier to deport people who are deported. If they are claiming asylum, it's easier to deny them asylum. They'll undergo a screening process called flights out of the country. Yes, flights. South and Central America, Africa, and China are far away. It's hard to send someone back on foot if they come from Nigeria or Niger, or must risk desert and jungle again getting back to South America. In some countries, the U.S. might not have a return migration agreement. That was the case for Venezuela for 7 years, so the U.S. couldn't just put Venezuelans on
What are you talking about?
Still, in 2023, the U.S. started doing just that again. This year, the White House also said it would give temporary protected status to the 472,000 Venezuelans
I'll
who
explain
arrived in
everything
the
there,
U.S.
Agent
as
Kennedy.
of July 31st.
How do you know my name?
Have criticized sending people back to places with plenty of documented human
Yes.
rights violations. Still, flying someone back to
Hunnigan.
Venezuela is better.
You're both all right.
How do you two know each other?
That's Helena Harper. She's been with the Secret Service since last year. I can't tell you how good it is to hear you two are all right. Look, I hate to rush introductions, but I need a report on your situation.
I just shot the president.
He had already been infected by the time we found him. Leon did what he had to. He saved my life. God help us.
All right, I'll submit the report. You two just focus on getting the hell out of here. The virus has already spread 3 miles past the campus perimeter, and it's not slowing down. You need to hurry.
Not before we check out.
This is a PlayStation 4 disc, by the way.
It might tell us who's
I'm playing it on a PS5.
Is that true?
Yeah, I think I might have something.
Roger that. I'll map out the safest access route. Keep the radio on.
Places to go for immigrants, since it has something called the right to shelter rules.
I got a lead.
Migration Policy Institute wrote that these
You will if you come with
thousands of
me.
immigrants move organically, quietly, and gradually across the U.S. to find the best place suited to their needs. Still, the screenings have now been made harder with a higher threshold, which the media says is to make it so non-Mexican asylum seekers can more easily be rejected, deported, and banished for 5 years.
So what's so special about this church? You have some sins to confess?
It's hard to explain. If I don't tell you at the cathedral, you may not believe me.
Or religion. There can also be exceptional circumstances, such as the threat of murder or kidnapping. Poverty and hardship don't cut it. Legal experts have said that most people trying to claim asylum don't actually meet the criteria. In some cases, such as with Venezuelans, the U.S. has created a scheme in which immigrants will be granted to stay in the country if they have a U.S. sponsor. We don't need Nike. We need a person or a family guaranteeing they'll be taken care of. Even so, desperate people have arrived in droves.
You're gonna tell me everything once we get to the cathedral. Deal?
People like them. As you know, that's millions of people, many of whom are now stuck, waiting, and praying. Immigrants seeking asylum can make an appointment with the U.S. authorities using the CBP-1 app. Still, according to The Guardian, the app is riddled with technical glitches, indecipherable error messages, and mistranslations of English words. Some asylum seekers also don't have the right kind of phone or the Wi-Fi or cellular data plan to get online. One of the immigrants who tried and failed to use the app said in an interview, "We crossed into the U.S. through a hole in the wall. We were looking for Border Patrol, but we didn't see any.
Here too.
We just walked right in.
This is getting out of control.
Through legally. We tried going through the CBP-1 app, but it never worked. There's currently a huge backlog of asylum cases, over 2 million immigrants waiting, most of them in the U.S., poised to have their day in court. Some others are faced with more difficult existence of being held in a long-term detention center. Of course, the free people could just disappear once they get in, but they'll be living their lives with a threat of deportation after that. Some live with an ankle bracelet so immigration can find them, but certainly not all. The sheriff we mentioned at the start, who spoke with Peter Santinello, said that people disappear all the time and never report to immigration. The sheriff worked in the Yuma sector in Arizona, which saw the 3rd highest number of encounters in 2022, at just over 310,000. In 2023, that number was down 43% to 174,200. With claiming asylum posing all kinds of hurdles, and with so many people knowing full well they won't get in that way, they opt for the other solution, sneaking in. And as we said, the hottest spot right now is the El Paso sector, which has overtaken the Rio Grande Valley sector. For you non-Americans, that's Texas. Reports show that a large group of people trying to enter this sector as of late were wearing blue bracelets. These people had paid the Mexican Gulf Cartel. Its logo, a dolphin, was also on the bracelets next to the word Entregas, meaning deliverance.
You see one of them, aim for the head. It's your best bet.
Got it.
In some cases, it's impossible to cross certain stretches of the river without being told to the Cartel del Noreste, a group that originates in the Los Zetas syndicate.
This is where the reception was gonna be. They'd all be here eating dinner right now.
This town is in the
You
Del
think
Rio
anyone
sector,
survived?
the number 2 busiest spot this year. Amazingly, 6,000
I hope so.
migrants crossed the Rio Grande River in just 2 days and walked into the town with just 28,000 people. Talk about a crazy 2 days, a dangerous few days too. The river here is a scary thing indeed. In September 2022, it was reported that 9 immigrants died in 1 day from drowning near Eagle Pass. The river might look mild, but there are dangerous currents and whirlpools.
Get back
Eagle
here.
Pass's fire chief explained.
Get back here.
Every single day, we respond to the river and recover at least 1 body a day. One of the more recent reports stated that the body of a 3-year-old was found floating there. There are 9 main sectors on the southern border. The numbers regarding the busiest sectors change depending on where the smugglers want people to cross and what the whack-a-mole U.S. authorities are doing. Certain nationalities are also prone to head into a certain sector, which would make sense as traffickers will do their business in certain sectors. If people have made their own way to the border, they'll likely follow a crowd they're more familiar with in terms of culture and language. In 2022, there was an increase in Indian nationals in the San Diego, El Centro, and Yuma sectors. Many Cubans headed to the Del Rio sector, and many Colombians that year went to the Yuma sector. Border Patrol said it found large numbers of people from Turkey and Haiti in the El Paso sector in 2022. Nicaraguan and Brazilian migrants made up a large number of arrests in all sectors. A significant number of Romanians were encountered in the San Diego sector. The CBP statistics, which we'll say are really thorough, good work some, put many people at
I can't believe this is happening again. It's just like Raccoon.
These people must come from a collection of nations.
Yeah,
As we said, the El
I'll never
Paso
forget
sector
it.
has been the busiest this
We're going to this cathedral of yours. But if you really did have a hand in this, you can kiss your freedom goodbye.
127,000 171. The Del Rio sector saw 393,226 encounters, followed by the Rio Grande Valley, which had 338,337.
What was that?
In Southern California, there was an increase of 31%.
Only one way to find out. Let's go.
230,900, a 30% decrease in the El Centro sector, 50,500. The numbers will always fluctuate as the U.S. plays whack-a-mole. The game keeps
Good work.
The dark irony is that where there's a higher risk of death, the immigrants go, so there's usually less U.S. law enforcement. It's the same the entire journey from South America. The more off-road you go, the less chance you have of
Fall back.
Roger.
The more chance you have of falling off a cliff or being robbed by a bandit. Fortune
Nice.
favors the brave, an expression never any more evident
Appreciate it.
in the life of an immigrant who, as we write this show, has just narrowly lost the fight against arguably the world's best heavyweight boxer. Francis Ngannou, once a street-fighting boy from Cameroon who as a teen labored in a sand quarry, paid smugglers for his harrowing journey across the Sahara and through Europe toward France, where he intended to become a fighting champion. He did it, but his tale of being smuggled is pockmarked with tragedies he witnessed. The smuggling routes from East, North, and West Africa to Europe are another money spinner for criminals, who with smugglers who take people from South America to North America combined, generate around $6.75 billion. Ngannou, who now has French citizenship and legally works in the USA, has become fluent in English. He's a multi-millionaire thanks to fighting. He sends money home, and he built a gym
This
there
way.
before kids
Not
do
now.
this, following another successful
Fall back.
investment
Can't
for
it wait?
centuries. He earned $12 million for going toe-to-toe with the Gypsy King Tyson Fury, whose Gypsy descendants also know what it's like to be treated like you don't belong. We told you this to show that some immigration stories do have happy endings, but for the U.S. right now, this influx is out of control, and the government needs to get it back under control. The problem for politicians is finding a humane solution, something not always easy where very complex problems are concerned. Now you need to watch why so many Americans are fleeing these areas, or have a look at
In the back.
why 50% of murders happen here.
Explore our wide selection of sizes of kids from extra small to big and tall. Men's Warehouse. Love the way you look.
Thanks to the mass sharing allowed by social media sites, we're currently living in the golden era of conspiracy theory, where truth might be out there, but there are millions of lies out there too. We're sorry to burst your bubble, folks, but Michael Jackson, Elvis, and Tupac are all definitely dead. Live Furniture is not involved in human trafficking, and we advise you to leave any lizard people theories at the door. But that doesn't mean every crazy conspiracy.
Hold on 1 second, I'll be right back.
Some of the ones that turned out to be true are often the craziest of all. First, we'll open with a classic, MK-Ultra, the CIA's secret mind control plot. When LSD, a hallucinogenic chemical compound, became a popular drug in the mid-20th century, hippies were using it to touch the face of God at music festivals, and the CIA, who, well, spoilers will come up a lot in this video, were trying to weaponize it. The concept of the CIA developing a secret mind control program sounds like something you might hear being discussed extensively at your local psych ward. But believe it or not, this really did happen during the covert MK-Ultra project. They tricked heroin addicts into taking LSD doses and recruited unsuspecting men at fake brothels, followed by electroshock and hypnotism experiments. As far as we're aware, no useful results ever came out of the project, despite the experiments destroying the lives of many of their subjects. When a Freedom of Information Act request spilled the beans on this project in 1977, it gave the American public yet another reason in an already turbulent decade to distrust the government. But the U.S. government isn't the only one who is up to some crazy conspiracy-inspiring science experiments. This might seem like a lowbrow joke, but in the 1960s, the Canadian government funded the creation of a real-life gaydar. Before y'all start snickering like high schoolers, you should know that despite seeming pretty silly on the surface, this had horrible consequences for the lives of around 400 people. Frank Robert Wake, a professor at Canada's Carleton University, designed the machine to measure pupil dilation in response to images of a homosexual nature. This incredibly unscientific device was then tested on a huge number of government employees, 400 of whom were fired after testing positive for gay. The cruelest insult on top of all this financial injury, the real-life gaydar was internally nicknamed the Fruit Machine, a nod toward a common homophobic phrase at the time. Stay classy, Canada. Let's hop away from North America and over to North Korea, one of the weirdest countries in the world. There are very few countries that are actively friendly with the DPRK, but one country that has a particularly strained relationship with them is Japan. So much so that there was a long-running conspiracy theory of the North Korean government disappearing Japanese citizens. And as you probably guessed from the title of this video, this conspiracy theory turned out to be completely true. In 2002, the now deceased former Supreme Leader Kim Jong-il straight up admitted that the country had kidnapped at least 13 Japanese citizens. To their credit, they did give 5 of them back after this. The location of the other 8 is still an open question. Okay, back to the United States now. Though this conspiracy theory was performed against the U.S. government rather than by it. The assassination of President Abraham Lincoln by John Wilkes Booth. Even our framing there suggests that John Wilkes Booth was a lone wolf triggerman, a deranged racist out-of-work actor willing to bet his life to take down Honest Abe. Naturally, conspiracies popped up that Booth wasn't acting alone. And yep, the conspiracy turned out to be true. Booth worked with at least 9 other Confederate co-conspirators, most of whom were would-be assassins themselves. These included George S. Brunt, who tried and failed to assassinate Vice President Andrew Johnson, Lewis Powell, who tried and failed to assassinate Secretary of State William Stewart, and Mary Stewart, who became the first woman ever to be hanged by the United States government. Not exactly a successful bunch. From a defied American leader to a defied Tibetan leader, you might have heard a number of conspiracy theories about the Dalai Lama, the spiritual figurehead of Tibet. Given that the Dalai Lama is opposed to Chinese expansion, many have accused the United States of funding the Dalai Lama.
The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead. Man, that shit don't work. I'm watching Walking Dead with Daryl.
Are you alright? The fog.
Nah, they need to shoot his ass.
The fog. It came out of nowhere. Liz! Wait, let me go! It's too dangerous. I got her. She's all alone. If we don't do something... Right, I get it. If you don't keep it down, you won't live to see.
Ooh, Maggie just got Negan.
You understand?
Wanted by the new Babylon Mark.
Is that your daughter?
Well, goddamn.
All right, let's find her.
Look good.
Leon, we don't have time
We're
for
making the time.
Keep this.
Liz, where are you?
I keep this.
Sorry. Glad you're better on your feet.
Good to see you too. Wanted by the new Babylon Martians. Well, goddamn. For a wanted man, I look good. I keep this. I'm keeping this.
taught you?
What was that sound?
It's Annie, the kid.
Here is Maggie. Maggie and I are
They're scared.
old acquaintances. So you are either here not to kill me, or you have gotten seriously rusted.
A few weeks back I got raided. Outnumbered, overpowered, stole all our grain.
Oh no, Maggie.
A month after that, hostages collateral.
They took your kid.
I tracked him all the way up to Hudson, but then we'd already made it across.
Cross for what?
Manhattan.
Hey, I did some really nice job. You do me a favor and go finish checking out our shit. Thank you. I hate to even ask, but how do I figure into this, Maggie?
The man who's got her show, they call him Throwback. Bullshit. You know it.
Why does that see the red? Oh, the red side.
Right before he took my son, do you know what he did?
Who turned the lights off?
Stay sharp.
That rings a bell, doesn't it? Did for me.
Yo, what's up, viewer? This is Resident Evil 6 PS4 disc being played on PS5.
Alright, so what you're thinking is, since I knew this guy back in the day when I was running the show, that maybe I had some special insight into his modus operandi, or hell, maybe I could just sweet talk him into giving me your boy back. We'll talk about the same crow. Let's just say there were a lot of psychos in my group back then, but he always stood out as being an exceptionally insane son of a bitch. If it's the crow, it's got him.
No.
Alright, tell me this. Why would I help you?
That's quite a draft.
Because you
We need to find her.
you're the last
We
person.
will.
My bullets don't
Just
hurt
stay
him.
close. Thank
It
you.
doesn't look like you get too many options yourself. Because if I found him here, the marshals would too. As far as I can tell, you have exhausted every shithole.
Still got a decent setup at Hilltop. Kids.
To put up that girl. You, we see how things play out.
Fair enough.
Liz! Liz! Please answer. It's your dad, Liz. You all right? I will be once I find my daughter. I called her cell, but we got cut off.
He's gonna turn into a zombie. I don't know why it's not letting me just shoot him.
Hey, I don't recall this being the hilltop.
It's gonna be easy.
That's not what we talked about, Maggie.
It's the same people. Same setup, just have to relocate. After you help burn it down, you can call back.
There you go, kid.
We'll need to get the elevator working again. It's locked, but I work here. I've got the keys. Once we're in, we can take my car. Thanks. Now let's find Liz and get the hell out of here.
Why doesn't she talk?
Liz, is that you?
She was doing it bad. She took off. Didn't come back. She went looking for him. She found him. He turned. She just hasn't spoken, so.
Careful.
Hey.
Marshals! Shit, get away, get away.
Liz!
Dad, where are Mom and Liam?
They already got out. They're waiting for us at home.
Check the rooms.
Have you seen this man? Goes by the name of Negan.
I've seen Negan.
The reason this crew didn't find this man is because he's murdered a magistrate in cold blood.
How do we get out of this place?
Along with 4 others.
The underground parking lot.
Which means in the Code 14 section...
The elevator is up ahead. Hopefully it still works.
Not just this. Nothing so magnanimous as a hanging on heading off to do what this man has done. He'd be dangled upside down and sawed in half lengthwise, from the groin to the head.
Let's get this out of our way.
This is a man who's built up an empire, like a greedy king.
That's cool, you can play this game as 2-player.
And he bashed in the man's head in front of the man's pregnant wife. Tranquility orders. Tranquility order. Justice. The law.
Oh, I saw there's a hidden room on GTA 5. Right when we get to the next save point, we're gonna switch over to GTA 5 for a few minutes.
It's going to be okay, Lizzie. It's going to be okay. We're almost there.
Nah, she's not gonna be okay. She about to bite your ass.
Liz?
time to shoot her. Ooh, the new Walking Dead series is really good.
Oh my god.
She's already gone! Shoot her!
I can't believe this.
We'll get used to it. It's either them or us. And they don't hesitate.
Why did this
Leon knows what's up.
It's getting late.
I don't think we're alone in here.
Lena, grab your gun. Shit! Don't let him in!
So it's her, huh? So woman's been looking for me even on every day. Hey,
He's dead. Let's go.
When I was a kid, business trip or some shit to New York City. He brought me back this souvenir statue of Liberty. I remember I just couldn't imagine so anyway, well, I'll be,
That's our cue to get them
I'd say steal one of them cars.
train tickets. Okay. And then there's Jenny, was the case with my dad. Something came up, I guess. Anyway, I still haven't seen Lady Liberty in the flesh.
Don't go help them.
Alright, so how's this whole operation supposed to lay out? I mean, besides...
Come on, Leon, don't do it. Yeah, they're gone, Leon.
I got a plan.
go.
Leon, it's too late.
Right, get in the car and leave. They're already dead. We gotta get out of here, girl. Mama, we gotta go.
You're right. Let's get the hell out of here.
Mama, let's get the hell out of here.
Well, the big difference is if I'm dead, you don't get your son back. You need me.
And I'm feeling it cuts both ways. I'm sure the Marshalls would have something to say about that.
What I did, it's not like the Marshals said. Besides, I do believe I paid for what I've done.
Oh, The Walking Dead is called Once and Always, I think. That you're hearing in the
He said
background.
it was some sort of fog. If this thing spread in gas form, then anyone who breathed it in got infected.
That would mean everyone on campus.
Yeah, but then why is it so quiet? I've got a bad feeling about this.
Then again, Maggie, sometimes a building on fire is just a building on fire.
Came over here.
So, what's the deal with that?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Military just drove over there.
I go the wrong way. Uh-oh.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
Empty your pockets. Here's your gun.
They don't give you one of 3 people service 3 months.
Well, you got something in your pocket.
For my grandma. All she has left. You try again, pulling on her heartstrings.
What are you doing?
Tossing him overboard. It's not like he's coming to the party. Hey, relax. It's a short sprint. Dog pedal will be fine. No, he is a marshal. And you junior marshal, whatever the hell he is. Every second he stays, he's a threat, a liability.
Yeah, insurance. What you think?
You know, you have been sticking it to me as you've been a little way since the second we hooked up. I don't think I haven't noticed. And I get how having Herschel taken is spinning out, stirring up emotions.
Hey, thanks. You're joining in? Are you on a PS4 or PS5? I'm playing this on PS5. How about you? Hey, come on, we gotta go this way, guy.
All these years you still think I'm the bad guy. I'm not. No one is. You know what, man? Maybe everyone. Ask yourself one question.
Get over here.
How many husbands and fathers have you killed?
What you did. You don't ever put something like that to bed.
I wonder if there are any survivors.
Where are all the choppers?
This little look. Me, that's really
You're not going back to her.
go.
You tried everything. You were good.
Get to the security gate. It'll lead you off the campus.
Seriously, Martian fall from the sky now?
They must have heard us. You have to.
Seriously, Martian fall from the sky now?
They must have heard us. You have to.
It's locked. Hunnigan, can you open it?
Sorry, not from here. Try the staff building behind the bleachers. I'm guessing you'll find keys for the gate there.
that trigger finger ready. Never know what's around the next corner.
Got it.
And this person's missing the ammo and everything. Oh, that's not good.
Again, the door's locked. There's no way out.
I'm on it. Just give me a minute.
There's so many. Can't take them all.
Now I know all the inspectors are hiding out.
Pretty tight security for a college campus.
Any day now, Hunnigan. We gotta get out of here.
I've almost got it. Hang on. It's open. Get out of there now.
One surprise after another.
Nice.
Hey, relax. It's a short swim. A doggy paddle to be fine. No, he's a marshal. A junior marshal, whatever the hell he is. Every second he stays, he's a threat, a liability.
Yeah, insurance. You just
You know, you have been sticking it to me in a little way since the second we hooked up. Don't think I haven't noticed.
And I can't help having Herschel Baker. He's spinning out, stirring up emotions, memories, all sorts of shit. The faithful thoughts that I thought you had put to bed, clearly you have woken the hell up. But what I don't get is after all these years, you still think I'm the bad guy. I'm not. No one is. You know what? Maybe everyone is. Ask yourself one question. How many husbands and fathers have you killed?
You did. You don't ever want something like that to me.
That's all we need.
Well, that's not good.
Where are the chocolates?
Guess you could say.
Hey, when this is over, you look after Jenny for me. Hey, wait. Just please. Look after her.
You're not going back to her. Let's go.
Take a right up ahead. You're almost there. Keep running.
cop car. Let's go.
Damn it, no keys.
Are you sure?
I'm looking. What about the glove compartment?
No, nothing.
Checking the car is as easy as it looks in the movies. At least the wiper's working.
Should we hotwire it?
Hold on. Found the keys.
It's clear behind us. Back up.
You buckled in?
Yeah.
Made it off campus. Now we just gotta get through town.
Without getting killed.
Shit!
Leon, Helena, are you two alright?
Hanging in there. But we need another way to the cathedral.
Well, I found an underground route that may be safer.
The sewers, huh? Great.
I'm fine. We should hurry.
What's the matter? Not a fan of sewers?
Come on. Let's just get to the cathedral, and then I'll tell you everything.
Everything we know about the Raccoon City incident.
But sir,
A lot of people are questioning my desire to reveal the truth. I know where they're coming from. It might create more problems than it solves. A lesson I learned well in the military. Bioorganic weapons are a global threat, and we are partly to blame. We have to come clean and start working with the rest of the world if we want to have any chance of fighting this.
whatever you decide, sir, I'm with you.
I've always valued friendship.
Who the fuck is he supposed to
It's
be?
time we take responsibility and end this mess.
It's gonna be a tough road.
Let's get moving. We don't have much time.
Certainly got our work cut out for us.
Believe me, I know.
Leon, Helena, we'll be out of contact when you're in there. I'll still be tracking your movements, but be careful.
How's that for timing?
Mine's up too. It's blind here. This is a nightmare.